Okay, so we are all drowning in headlines about AI, right? Every single day, we hear how tools like Claude and ChatGPT are going to completely change our jobs. But behind all that hype, there's this giant mystery. What are people actually using them for at work? Not the speculation. Today, we're going to be detectives. We've got brand new real world data, and we are going to uncover what's really happening.
All right, let's get right into it. This is the big one. And it's not just for the tech geeks or the AI fanatics, you know? This affects every single one of us with a job. And the best part, for the first time ever, we can actually move past all the guessing games and get to a real data-backed answer. For the longest time, the story we've all been told is pretty simple. AI is here to take over the boring stuff, right? The mind-numbing, repetitive tasks, think data entry, standard reports, that kind of thing. But what if I told you the evidence, and we're talking millions of real conversations, points in the complete opposite direction? The reality isn't just more complicated, it's a total flip of the script.
So here's how we're going to crack this case. First, we'll lay out the AI work mystery. Then we'll get into how to decode our daily tasks. After that, we'll reveal AI's favorite kind of work, group everything into 3 task archetypes, and then land on the most important part, what this means for us.
Okay, section 1, the AI work mystery. So the basis for all of this is a really groundbreaking new paper called, appropriately enough, What Work is AI Actually Doing? And just to be clear, this is not some blog post. This is a deep dive into millions of real AI interactions, giving us a look under the hood like never before.
All right, section 2, decoding our daily tasks. So here's the thing. To figure out AI's true role, looking at job titles is kind of useless. I mean, think about it. A job like market analyst isn't one single thing. It's a whole collection of different tasks, right? Some are routine, some are creative, some are social. The genius of this research was realizing they had to stop looking at jobs and start breaking down the individual tasks we all do every single day.
So how exactly did they do it? Well, it was basically a 3-step detective job. Step 1, they analyzed a massive data set, 4 million real conversations with the Claude AI, and matched them up against thousands of standardized work tasks. Step 2, they came up with this brilliant idea to give every single task its own personality profile based on key traits. And finally, step 3, they connected the dots, looking for patterns to see which task personalities attracted the most AI use.
So what goes into a task's personality? Well, the researchers broke it down into these 7 key dimensions. Is it routine, or does it require a ton of mental effort, cognitive work? Does it need social intelligence, like persuading people? Is it creative? Does it take specialized domain knowledge? How complex is it? And what about the level of decision-making involved? See, every single thing you do at your job is a unique mix of these 7 ingredients.
Okay, section 3, AI's favorite kind of work. Now we get to the good stuff, the core findings. This is where the data starts to tear down that old myth about AI and shows us something. Well, something completely unexpected about where it's making its mark. Get ready for this, because this is the first huge bombshell from the data. 59%, almost 60% of all AI usage is packed into just 5% of work tasks. Let that sink in. This means AI adoption isn't some gentle wave. No, it's more like a super-focused laser beam hitting a very, very specific slice of what we do. So what kind of work is in that tiny 5%? This chart lays it all out. The number one reason people turn to AI? For tasks that need idea generation and heavy-duty information processing. And you want to know the single biggest thing that repels AI use? Predictability. The more routine and predictable a task is, the less people use AI for it. This is the complete opposite of what pretty much everyone assumes. And this quote really nails the core idea here, which the researchers call cognitive offloading. People aren't reaching for AI to do the easy, boring stuff they can do in their sleep. They're using it as a thinking partner for the hardest parts of the job. You know that moment you're staring at a blank page? That's when they use it, to break through that initial friction, to brainstorm ideas, or to make sense of a mountain of information. Okay, on to section 4, the 3 task archetypes. To make this even clearer, the researchers basically sorted all those thousands of tasks into 3 big families, or archetypes. This is super helpful for seeing the big picture of where AI is really making a difference and where it's not. First up, archetype 1, dynamic problem solving. This is the really complex, messy, creative stuff. We're talking about developing a whole new business strategy from scratch, or a coder writing a brand new algorithm. It's the opposite of routine. It's pure brain power. And guess what? AI usage here is the highest of all, by far. Next, we have archetype 2, procedural and analytical work. This is a bit more structured. Think about analyzing a clean spreadsheet or generating a standard weekly report. AI usage here is definitely happening. It's at a medium level, but it's nothing compared to that first group.
And last, archetype 3, standardized operational tasks. Now, this is the stuff that fits that old myth we talked about. Super routine, highly predictable work like basic data entry. And the AI usage? It's dead last, the lowest of all. The data is crystal clear. This is exactly where people aren't using these new AI tools.
And this chart just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, look at that huge gap. It's so clear. The more dynamic and brain-intensive the work is, the more people are using AI. And the most routine stuff, it barely even registers. The myth is officially busted.
But there was one really fascinating outlier in all this data: social intelligence. Tasks that required skills like empathy, negotiation, or persuasion, well, they had basically zero connection to AI use. It was completely decoupled. And that tells us something really important. For now, at least, those uniquely human skills of connection are where we still have a major advantage.
So, we've cracked the case. We know what AI is really being used for. Now, for the most important question, what does this mean for us? Let's get into Section 5 and translate all this data into real, actionable advice for your career, for education, and for any business out there. If you remember one thing from this, let it be this. The entire nature of knowledge work is shifting. It's shifting from doing to directing. Our value is no longer just about doing the hard thinking ourselves, the writing, the analyzing, the coding. Our value is now in our ability to direct an AI to do it, and then, and this is crucial, to judge the output. That's the new game. So here's your new playbook for this AI age. For your career, you've got to focus on meta skills. That's stuff like critical thinking, knowing what to delegate to an AI, and how to evaluate what it gives you back. For education, we have to move past just teaching facts and start teaching AI literacy and real problem solving. And for businesses, the message is loud and clear. Stop thinking about just automating routine tasks. The real opportunity is in helping with complex, creative thinking. And that key idea we talked about, cognitive offloading, is what's driving this whole change. It's really just a fancy term for something simple. It's like using a calculator. The calculator does the number crunching, so your brain is free to think about what the numbers actually mean. Well, AI is quickly becoming a calculator for thinking itself. So what's the bottom line? As AI steps in as our thinking partner, our uniquely human advantage is shifting. The new premium is on the things AI can't do. Remember that data on social intelligence? It's all about our judgment, our taste, our creativity, and our ability to lead, persuade, and connect with other human beings.
And that leaves us with a final big question to think about. We now have tools that can handle some of our heaviest cognitive lifting. So in this new age of cognitive offloading, the challenge isn't just about being intelligent anymore. The real question is, how will you choose to be intelligent?